The jungle went silent, not the kind of quiet that brings peace, but the kind that holds its breath. The only sounds were the hiss of our rebreathers, and the heavy thuds of gear being checked one last time. We stood at the mouth of the Cenote de Sun, a deep gash in the Yucatan Peninsula that opened into the Abyssal vein, the most dangerous underwater river system ever seen from space. "Check oxygen sensors," Elias ordered. His voice was calm, but the air itself felt heavy, thick with the enormity of our task. We weren't just going for a swim. We were about to enter a part of the Earth that hadn't seen a single ray of light in 10 million years. Our mission: to map the Devil's Throat, a narrow passage where the current was so fierce it could pin a diver to the rock wall permanently. The moment we broke the surface, the jungle heat was gone, replaced by the instant shock of 60-degree water. As we descended, the green glow from above softened to a bruised purple, and then nothing. Just a deep, suffocating blackness. Our high-powered lights sliced through the water, revealing jagged limestone walls that looked like the inside of a colossal ribcage. We were in another world. 500 meters in, the unpredictable happened. A distant tremor, a tiny shift in the Earth's crust, sent a ripple through the water. It wasn't loud, but the sudden pressure change made our ears pop with pain. And then came the silt, a massive, rolling cloud of fine limestone sediment. What divers call milk rushed towards us, stirred up by a sudden surge in the current. In a matter of seconds, our visibility dropped from 30 feet to absolute zero. "Kill the lights," I signaled over the comms. In a total silt-out, powerful lights are your enemy. They just reflect off the millions of particles, creating a blinding, disorienting whiteout. We were now navigating blind, relying solely on touch. My gloved hand found the guideline, our only physical link to the surface world. The current, which had been a gentle flow, now felt like a predator, pulling us deeper into the maze. I could feel the limestone walls closing in, pressing on us from all sides. This was the first bottleneck. I felt Elias's fin brush against my shoulder, a small, reassuring sign that I wasn't alone in the void. We were moving entirely by feel, sensing the vibrations in the water, a school of two in an endless night. I switched on my wrist-mounted sonar mapper. The screen pulsed with a ghostly green light, painting a digital picture of the cave's jagged teeth, just inches from my helmet. Then, a sharp clang echoed through the water. My tank had struck a low-hanging stalactite. The sound was deafening in the confined space. I felt it before I saw it on any of our instruments. The telltale pressure surge of a flash flood. Miles away, rain was funneling into this underground system, turning the river into a runaway train. The water pressure intensified, pushing us deeper, faster, and farther into the labyrinth than we ever intended to go. We were no longer in control. The cave was. We reached a section called the Needle's Eye. It was a passage so tight that we had to unclip our side-mounted tanks and push them ahead of us. Imagine squeezing through a keyhole in total darkness, with the roar of a subterranean river vibrating through your entire body. I pushed forward, and the limestone scraped hard against my suit. And then I was stuck. The full force of the current was shoving me into the opening, wedging me tighter with every passing second. Panic, the true killer in cave diving, started its cold climb up my spine. My heart rate shot up, burning through my precious oxygen supply at an alarming rate. I had to get a grip. Breathe. Slow. Precise. I forced myself to exhale completely, collapsing my chest just enough. I wiggled forward, inch by painful inch. Suddenly, the rock relented. I popped through the other side like a cork, emerging into a vast, silent chamber, a lightless cathedral of water. We were 3 miles from the entrance. Our oxygen levels were at 30%. The sonar showed a massive vertical shaft leading up on escape. Rude, but the current was a monster, fighting us, trying to sweep us back down into a dead-end siphon. "We have to swim against the flood." Elias's voice crackled through the comms, distorted and strained. What followed was a brutal, exhausting battle against an invisible giant. We kicked until our legs burned and our vision started to tunnel. We used the jagged walls as handholds, clawing our way upward, meter by meter. The sonar pings grew more frantic as the ceiling narrowed above us. We were running out of time, air, and strength. Then I felt a flicker. Not a light, but a subtle change in the water pressure. The abyssal vein, after trying so hard to keep us, was finally spitting us out. We breached the surface in a hidden cavern, a full mile from where we started. I ripped off my mask, and the sweet, humid air of the jungle filled my lungs. It felt like a miracle. We had stared into the eye of a geological void and survived its blink. We had mapped the darkness was behind us, but the rhythm of that ancient, powerful river will pulse in our veins forever. Thanks for joining us on this journey. If you want to see more expeditions into the unknown, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.